Hi there.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. Yes.
So what we're going to do today is do a little bit of consultation around potential treatments. You've mentioned, obviously, you've still got some menopausal symptoms,
Yes.
and potentially we can look at some treatments that can support you through that. But what I'd like to do first is just hear a little bit about you and what you're going through, and then see what we can do. I know aromatherapy is one of your favourites, so we'll potentially look at that, but maybe some other things as well. Maybe do aromatherapy this time and look at some other treatments next time. So talk to me a little bit about what's happening at the moment.
I started getting symptoms in my late 30s, but when I went to see my GP, because I was under 40, under early 40s, they kept saying to me I was too young, it couldn't possibly be.
Right. So this was peri-menopause they were talking about. Yeah.
And I had, I would say, probably the classic symptoms: hot flushes, night sweats, fatigue,
Right.
brain fog. Although I don't think at the time I realised that's what it was. Slight stiffness in my joints.
Right, okay. So these are all classic ones, but you felt you weren't being listened to?
No, I didn't. And I did a reading around the subject.
Yes,
and I was like, and we went through it with my GP, and he said, well, do a blood test. But because of the nature of menopause, it's cyclical. It's not the same every month, hence why it takes so long.
Yeah.
So a one-off blood test doesn't really tell you anything. But because at the time they did the blood test, my hormones were relatively stable, I just was told.
So if they'd done it at another time, a more appropriate time, it might have given a different picture.
Yes, or if they take it over a few months.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So it was a hard slog, but
you
I've struggled.
persisted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am on HRT now.
Right. Okay.
And that has helped with some of the symptoms.
Yes. Which ones in particular has it helped with, do you feel?
So it's decreased the hot flushes during the day.
Yeah.
And the night sweats to a point, but I do find certain things trigger the night sweats. So it's, HRT is not the magic cure.
Right.
It hasn't really helped with the joints. Sleep can be unpredictable.
Right.
Which is one of the reasons I thought aromatherapy might help.
Yes. Yeah.
And as I say, sometimes I still get the night sweats.
Yeah.
But I think it's just that general well-being. It just kind of makes you feel out of sorts.
Yes. Yeah.
I don't quite know how to describe it.
Often people say to me, it just makes them not feel like them. So you don't feel like you,
very
which
much so.
is something that's quite normal, I think, because your hormones are fluctuating so much. It's quite challenging to get those rebalanced when you're going through this complete change of process, and it can go on for years, which is the downside of going through the perimenopause into the menopause as well. So you haven't reached that stage yet.
Not yet.
Yeah. So what we need to focus on then is really looking at these symptoms of perimenopause that will allow you to stabilise everything as much as you possibly can to get you ready for that year when you're going into menopause.
Some of the other things actually is weight gain.
Right. Yeah.
And feeling bloated.
Yes. Yeah.
So by the sort of mid-afternoon, I feel very bloated, and it's really visible.
Yeah.
So anything that can help with that. I mean, the HRT has definitely helped with certain things.
Yes.
Particularly the moods, the kind of the big ups and downs.
Yes.
In kind of mood. But I still feel like I'm feeling some of the symptoms.
Yeah.
And having spoken to you before about aromatherapy, I wondered whether actually there might be something I can explore that specifically
Yes.
helps with
and,
those symptoms.
And I think you might be onto something there, because if aromatherapy is tugging at you at the moment, your body's telling you that it needs something a little bit more to support you through this challenging time. And that's a real positive move. So I have dealt with a number of clients who have expressed menopausal symptoms at various stages, and I found that aromatherapy, alongside other things that you can do to help yourself positively, can really help to relieve some of those symptoms. So we're going to look at some oils in a moment that I've picked out that instinctively I feel will help support you through the menopause. But obviously there are other treatments as well. Really from a holistic perspective, you have got acupressure, you've got reflexology, you've got simple body massage. Sometimes I find with people who are going through menopause, particularly if their joints are painful, then actually a deep massage is not the way to go. It's almost like you've got to think gentle and pull back at that time. It does depend, as you say, it's cyclical. So sometimes, you want that really strong massage, but other times, you need somebody to recognise that you need to pull back. And aromatherapy massage has that very gentle approach, because it's using the oils rather and how they penetrate into the skin rather than the pressure of the massage, which is what we're aiming for. So I think it's quite intriguing. I came across, I really like to have sort of a reference book to really support anything that I choose to do and anything that I discuss. And I've read quite a lot of textbooks over the years about menopause. But I came across this one just a year or so ago, and it was actually in my local garden centre. I love looking at the books in the garden centre, and this one intrigued me. And it's all about natural menopause. So it's using things that you were talking about, so herbal remedies, natural remedies, aromatherapy. It also covers cognitive behavioural therapy, nutrition and exercise, and HRT. And I like this because it, in one book, covers all of these different aspects. So when I mention quite a few of these different holistic approaches, I suppose, to allow you to take positive action, they do these wonderful summaries here. So a holistic approach to an optimum health situation will help you and support you through this, because it's a natural biological process. There's nothing you can do. You've got to go through it. But using things like herbal remedies, aromatherapy, being aware of your mental awareness as well, and maybe taking things to support that, or CBT is one avenue that they suggest here. But good nutrition as well, and exercise, and sometimes making just little adjustments can really help. I know with myself, one of the triggers I had was sugar, and it was literally I'd have some sweets, and 10 minutes later I'd start getting hot flushes, and it was incredible. So I literally cut out refined sugar as much as I possibly can, with making small adjustments, and that really made a huge difference. So is there anything that triggers yours?
I've never been a big drinker, but alcohol. I don't generally drink a lot of alcohol, but I do notice that, if I'm at a function, or I was at a wedding a couple of weeks ago, so I had a few glasses of champagne and a couple of glasses of wine, and I notice that that's generally when I can't regulate my temperature at night, so I'll get nice sweats back, or
it's like it's a trigger.
Definitely.
And I think sometimes when we start recognising what our triggers are and we find replacements for that, you'll find a difference it will make. So it's not just about, having a holistic treatment, it's looking holistically at everything that you do to help you, support you through that phase, because this can go on for years. If you don't make adjustments now, it's going to get worse. So I think making those little adjustments can really, really help.
Fatty foods is the other one.
Yeah.
So I've cut right back on things, if you go out for dinner, it's
Yes.
try not to eat as much burger and chips type food, or
Yeah.
fish and chips, or anything that's a lot of deep fried.
Yeah.
Because I find if I eat a lot of fried fatty foods, I bloat.
Yes.
It makes me feel really fatigued and just not great the next day at all.
So in other words, just listen to your body. It's trying to tell you something, and actually just those minor changes can make a huge difference to you managing those symptoms. They're making suggestions here all the time, but I do think looking at that whole holistic health approach during this period can really help take the whole stress away of, I'm managing this. It's, yes, go to your doctor, obviously, absolutely key that you get their advice. And if they're advising HRT, it's obviously your decision whether you use that. And in your case, it has worked. So do make sure that you stay in touch with your medical provider. Yeah, I think there are some other self-help tools that you can use to support you alongside any medication that you're taking.
I'm a firm believer in it's not, there's no pharmaceutical intervention that is the magic fix for anything. And I do think it's something you do alongside other things.
Yeah.
I mean, I've made some small changes. So my hair started to thin.
Right.
Having always had a really thick head of hair, I noticed that it went really limp and thin. And my nails were splitting.
Yeah.
And again, I didn't really think of that as possibly linked to peri-menopause. So I started taking collagen as a supplement, which has definitely made a difference in terms of my hair is thicker.
Right.
But I'm willing to try anything, and because I've seen you about aromatherapy for different things in the past. It was something I thought I would explore as well.
And what I like here is we're going to be talking about some of the aromatherapy oils. They've got a lovely introduction here to the use of natural remedies, and it says natural remedies offer women wide-reaching health benefits through a remarkably diverse range of healing, rejuvenating and nutrient compounds. Things like herbal remedies and aromatherapy can help to relieve many of the common symptoms of the menopause, including hot flushes, insomnia and anxiety. So, the things that you've mentioned already. So it is taking that wider holistic approach. Yep, if you want to go the HRT route, but don't expect it to cover everything and just magically remedy everything. But maybe that alongside some of these other things, looking at your nutrition, exercise. Do you exercise regularly?
I have to say no.
Yeah.
That's probably the next thing for me to sort of think about.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think so regular exercise, it can really help you maintain your weight, and also what people don't think about it's the long-term cardiovascular situation that it supports. So things like reducing cholesterol. So exercise is linked to that as well, which will help you cope with the hormonal imbalance that's going through your body. So I'm very much a believer in it's a holistic approach overall that will help you through the challenges that you've got now and those to come in a positive way. And I think if you feel you've taken control as well, I think it can make a huge difference. So I think for today we'll move on and focus on aromatherapy because your body's clearly leaning towards that. So I, as I said earlier, have picked out some of the oils which I know, past clients of mine have found very helpful to alleviate some of those menopausal symptoms. And some of this you can do yourself as well. This is, although you're coming to a treatment for me, some of this you can do a little bit of self-care around. You can put these in diffusers, you can put them in spritzers, as long as you've got a little basic understanding of how aromatherapy works. Obviously, always use a carrot oil. We're using jojoba today, but always put these, because they're quite volatile, and if you put them directly onto the skin, they can cause you problems. So you need to be very aware of how to use them. But once you've got that basic knowledge, you've got the ability for self-care. So there's nothing to say that you can't relax. Different sorts of exercises. You could do Pilates or yoga at home. You don't have to pay to go and have expensive one-to-one tuition on various types of exercise. There are numerous exercises that are offered. Even the chapter in here gives you some key basic exercises that will help you, that you can do at home. Because I'm guessing that it's quite difficult to fit exercise in because you've got lots of other things going on.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
So small bursts of exercise or stretches or movements that I could do at home would definitely be something to explore.
So maybe that's another avenue to add on to what we're doing here. Plus you've got your HRT, plus you're making small adjustments. So you're doing everything right, and it's just building up that so that you'll end up with what they're promoting here, which is a holistic approach, which is the best way of tackling it, I think. Okay, so what I'd like to do then is, I'll reach for that in a moment. I've got a number of oils. So what I'd like to do is see which ones your body sort of is pulling towards. I suppose that's the way to describe it. I often find with aromatherapy that your body responds better, or is crying out, I suppose is the expression, for certain oils. So I've got a selection here of, that you've heard me talk about, the base, middle and top notes. So a blend of that works well. So I've got a couple of base oils, some middle notes and some top notes here. So I suppose the next stage is to see which ones your body likes, and then we might actually go to the reference book and see what they say about the particular oil that you're picking, because that might indicate you've got a need for something there. So let's just work our way down some of these.
I always find it really interesting to understand what the different oils
do. You're right. Okay, so this is probably going to be very interesting for you then. So first base oil we've got here is frankincense.
It's quite musty.
I'll tell you what they do once you've picked one.
Refreshing though. Okay.
This one is rose. Rose always takes quite a while to come out.
Is it quite thick?
It is quite a thick oil. Okay.
Oh, that makes me think of country gardens. Makes me think of the outdoors and sunshine.
Yeah. Maybe that's what your body's craving. Maybe some walking.
It's funny. I think that's why I find aromatherapy so interesting, because different smells transport you just completely.
Definitely. I know.
Rose has such a huge impact.
Are we leaning towards rose then? I
like
take
that.
it. Okay, let's see.
It does. It makes me feel like the outdoors and, you know, taking a walk in a country garden somewhere.
What this reference book says about rose for menopause. So it's got rose boosts mood, improves sleep, soothes skin, improves libido and calms. So rose is a beautifully floral essential oil that supports femininity and the nervous system. Giving a sweet, gentle comfort, it will help you to feel nurtured and build your capacity for self-love during the menopause.
Oh,
there we go.
That's interesting.
It does also give quite a lot of detail here. It tells you which oils it blends well with, and gives you a few ideas of how to use it as well. Interesting. So that's going to be our base oil that we'll use. Then we've got a few middle notes here. The first one being clary sage.
I like that one. Reminds me of sort of spas and massage oil. Yeah, that's nice. I like that one.
This one's lavender.
That's quite a classic one, isn't it?
Yes.
It's quite strong. What's this one?
And this one is geranium.
It's quite fresh.
So out of the three, the clary sage, the lavender and the geranium, is one pulling towards you?
I think I like the clary sage.
So clary sage.
I like that one.
Okay, let's see if that's covered in here actually. We're filling the room with aromatherapy smells. It's lovely. Clary sage, there we go, reduces hot flashes.
Oh, brilliant.
First one.
Brilliant.
Boosts mood and eases anxiety. Clary sage essential oil is renowned for its calming, balancing and uplifting properties. A wonderful essential oil. It is used to treat many symptoms of women's health by balancing hormones and helping to alleviate hot flushes and night sweats.
Excellent.
Interesting in there. Okay, we've got the top notes. Got bergamot.
That's got a slightly citrusy.
You find a lot of the top notes are quite citrusy.
Citrusy smell.
And if you put that, could you put that in front of there? This is peppermint.
That's quite punchy. Peppermint's good for clearing your head, isn't it? So. I think I like the peppermint. I like them both. But I think the peppermint feels uplifting.
Yeah, I think with peppermint, it's got that immediate, it's got almost like a cooling sensation. So I think if you've been having hot flashes, it's the coolness that's pulling you in that direction, which is quite interesting, but a good one. And one with peppermint as well, you can actually pop it on a tissue and inhale it. Just don't hold it up to your nose because it can get quite tender there. But sometimes if you've got sort of sudden hot flashes, if you pop it on the back of your neck, the pulse points here will really help. Yeah. It's one of the few that you can put, just don't obviously overdo it. Okay, so that's the peppermint there. So what I'm going to do is, because we're using, we're going to do a massage, I think we will do 30 mils with 4 drops of each, and we'll use jojoba, which is a well-known carrot oil. Has some really good vitamins in it, and I think especially with menopause there are certain vitamins that you're missing, vitamin D for example, and it's well worth using any opportunity to add in those extra vitamins. So we are going to be needing quite a bit. So what we're going to do is 30 mils, and then we're going to drop in 4 drops of each of this.
I'm always intrigued to see how the smells come together.
Yes, yeah, so we're looking for a good balance here. This might take a while. Just have to be patient with it. It does come. It proves to me it's a good essential oil as well. Oh, rose hits you actually. And this was the peppermint. Let that diffuse. Right, okay, there we go. So it's probably the peppermint that's going to hit you first.
Very quickly followed by the
Clary sage, yeah, and the rose is the base. So they are representing their note types very well.
I thought it might overpower the rose, but you can
smell it. And that's your olfactory system here that's smelling that in the right order almost. So that's interesting.
Clever.
Okay, so what we'll do is we will use this in an aromatherapy massage. Now, one of the things I have established with previous clients that I've had is that when we start doing this initially, I like to focus on 3 particular parts of the body, which are where your pulse points are based. So I do a gentle aromatherapy massage around the feet, and you've got your pulse points around there, the hands and your wrists in particular, and then around the neck area. So what I'd like to do today is just focus on those and see if that helps to relieve some of the symptoms that you're experiencing. At the moment, are you suffering from anything in particular this week?
Sleep.
Right.
Is quite erratic. I've had a few hot flushes, but I don't know whether that's just because the weather's particularly warm at the moment and we're not used to it.
We're not, yeah.
And so sort of fatigue.
Yeah.
A bit, but
yeah. And I think your body's almost gone to these oils which are going to help you with that. I mean, each one of those is sort of mirroring up to the symptoms that you've described. So I think your body instinctively is going towards that. So what we will do is move now towards the treatment area, and then we'll continue with the massage. So thank you for being so honest today, though.
Thank you very much. Very interesting.